running and giggling, and kissing and kissing. You'll come to something quite different. He looked at his daughter with sardonic hatred, hating himself. They were caught and finished, both of them, but the girl was still running free. "Can't you see?" he demanded of his invisible granddaughter, who was at that moment lying in the thick green grass with the postmaster's son. His daughter looked at him, and her eyebrows went up in tired forbearance. "Put your birds to bed," she asked, humoring him. "Lucy," he said urgently, "Lucy." "Well, what is it now?" "She's in the garden with Stephen. Now you just sit down and have your tea." He stomped his feet alternatively, thump, thump, on the hollow wooden floor and shouted, "She'll marry him. I'm telling you, she'll be marrying him next." His daughter rose swiftly, brought him a cup, set him a plate. "I don't want any tea. I don't want it, I tell you." Now, she groaned. "What's wrong with it?" "Why not? She's 18. I was married at 17, and I never regret it." "Liar," he said. "Liar! Then you should regret it. Why do you make your girls marry? It's you who do it. What do you do it for? Why?" "The other three have done fine. They've three fine husbands. Why not Alice?" "She's the last," he mourned. "Can we keep her a bit longer?" "Come now, Dad. She'll be down the road, that's all. She'll be here every day to see you." "But it's not the same." He thought of the other three girls, transformed inside a few months from charming, petulant, spoiled children into serious young matrons. "You never did like it when we married," she said. "Why not?" "Every time it's the same. When I got married, you made me feel like it was something wrong. And my girls the same. You get them all crying and miserable the way you go on. Leave Alice alone. She's happy." She sighed, letting her eyes linger on the sunlit garden. "She'll marry next month. There's no reason to wait." "You said they can marry," he said incredulously. "Yes, Dad. Why not?" she said coldly, and took out her sewing. His eyes stung, and he went out onto the veranda. Wet spread down over his chin, and he took out a handkerchief and mopped his whole face. The garden was empty. From around the corner came the young couple, but their faces were no longer set against him. On the wrist of the postmaster's son balanced a young pigeon, the light gleaming on its breast. "For me?" said the old man, letting the drops shake off his chin. "For me? Do you like it?" The girl grabbed his hand and swung on it. "It's for you, Grandad. Stephen brought it for you." They hung about him, affectionate, concerned, trying to charm away his wet eyes and his misery. They took his arms and directed him to the shoal of birds, one on each side, enclosing him, petting him, saying wordlessly that nothing would be changed, nothing could change, and that they would be with him always. The bird was proof of it, they said, from their lying happy eyes, as they thrust it on him. "There, Grandad, it's yours. It's for you." They watched him as he held it on his wrist, stroking its soft, sun-warmed back, watching the wings lift and balance. "You must shut it up for a bit," said the girl timidly, "until it knows this is its home." "Teach your grandmother to suck eggs," growled the old man. Released by his half-deliberate anger, they fell back, laughing at him. "We're glad you liked it." They moved off, now serious and full of purpose, to the gate, where they hung, backs to him, talking quietly. More than anything could their grown-up seriousness shut him out, making him alone. Also, it quietened him, took the sting out of their tumbling like puppies on the grass. They had forgotten him again. Well, so they should. The old man reassured himself, feeling his throat clotted with tears, his lips trembling. He held the new bird to his face, for the cares of its silken feathers. Then he shut it in a box and took out his favorite. "Now you can go," he said aloud. He held it paused, ready for flight. While he looked down the garden towards the boy and the girl, then cringed in the pain of loss. He lifted the bird on his wrist and watched it soar, a whir and a sputter of wings, and a crowd of birds rose into the evening from the dovecot. At the gate, Alice and Stephen forgot their talk and watched the birds. On the veranda, that woman, his daughter, stood gazing, her eyes shaded with a hand that still held her sewing. It seemed to the old man that the whole afternoon had still to watch his gesture of self-command, that even the leaves of the trees had stopped shaking. Dry-eyed and calm, he let his hand fall to his sides and stood erect, staring up into the sky. The crowd of shining silver birds flew up and up, with a sheer grieving of wings, over the dark broad land and the darker belts of trees, and the bright folds of grass, until they floated high in the sunlight like a cloud of motes of dust. They wheeled in a wide circle, tilting their wings so there was flash after flash of light, and one after another they dropped from the sunshine of the upper sky to shadow, one after another, returning to the shadow earth over trees and grass and field, returning to the valley and the shelter of night. The garden was all afluster, and a flurry of returning birds. Then silence, and the sky was empty. The old man turned, slowly taking his time. He lifted his eyes to smile proudly down the garden at his granddaughter. She was staring at him. She did not smile. She was wide-eyed and pale in the cool shadow, and he saw the tears run shivering off her face.